Alrighty, y'all. So, out here getting it done. Day number 101. That is, kind of crazy, actually. I didn't think I would, be at this for 101 days straight so far. But, we are. It's kept me consistent having to post these videos. The, subscribers kind of piddling down. The first, 50 video posts, we kind of gained 30, 35, something like that. And then the second 50 here, we've gotten up to 50 so far. Did say 51, and then it changed fucking a few hours later, so. But we just out here doing our thing, So we working on trying to get to 100 first. Then after 100, we'll work on 500. Then after 500, we'll work on 1,000. So we are getting there, though. Making a lot of progress. We're now 19 more days away from the next physique update. So that's something we're working towards here. But yesterday was back day. Set a current PR, 410 pounds on the deadlift. I haven't pulled that much weight in almost 2 years, basically. So just under 2 years. So that is, sorry, I had to scratch my arm. Definitely feeling good. That's moving up a little bit, so that's got us on our path to pull 500 pounds overall is our goal here in, I don't know, a year from now would be pretty cool, but maybe a little longer, year and a half. But as long as it keeps going up, we are making progress. That's the way that works. So, but we were just trying to get her done and stay consistent, which I think the biggest thing is this has helped me do that. And well, not only that, with being so consistent to this and enjoying it. And in the past, I've helped other people get pretty fit or put on strength, whatever their goals have kind of been. So it made me go ahead and decide to become a certified personal trainer. So I've also started those courses, and basically we are working towards that. So that'll be pretty cool. I guess the short-term goal of that would be to get that done, get my nutrition coaching certification done, my corrective exercises certification done, and then I've got some other little specialty courses I'm going to be taking in order to help athletes and to help more or less people who want to compete in the physique, or in bodybuilding, I should say, not specifically physique. I would like to compete in physique as well as powerlifting. So I will have a pretty large basis that I can apply my skill sets that I'm currently learning and have just been doing for quite a long time, and be able to share that knowledge with others, help them achieve their goals. So that's going to be pretty cool. But it definitely has made a little change here with the overall goal. It first just started out with me wanting to be fucking a little bit leaner and get a bit stronger again, but well, that has changed a bit. So today we've got arms when we get into the gym. So we're gonna go ahead and get to that here in a little while. So I will bring you back when I get in there to start crushing arms today. Getting arms going. I started with a few warm-up sets already, went 20, 30, 40. Now I've got 50 pounds on the stack. We're just doing easy curls with the cable attachment. And all we're going to do now is just keep going up one plate per set, so an extra 10 pounds every single set for 10 reps until we can't hit, say, like 6 reps. And that'll be where our failure point is, and then we're just going to move on to the next exercise. So that's what today's kind of goal is with arms. I'm also restarting the structure of my arm day. So the process I've been doing with arms has been 3 tricep movements and then 3 bicep movements. That will probably stay with. But since my emphasis was on triceps for the last 100 days basically, now we're going to go ahead and switch to putting biceps first, so that way they have the most energy being put into them. Because the movement that you put, you know, your first movement, second movement that you put into your program per day, that's what's going to get the most energy, the most effort, and the most stimulus put into it. And the more stimulus and effort you put into a movement and exercise, that's what's going to get the most growth. Now, I'm not saying like the exercise at the end isn't going to be stimulating and creating growth, but if say you always do triceps first, your triceps are going to be much bigger than your biceps over a year. And then if you switch it, your biceps are finally going to start catching up and they're going to put on a lot more growth than what they did on the previous year. And it's just because there's more available nutrients, there's more available energy, and you're not fatigued yet. So, if you have a lagging body part, it is definitely very beneficial to put that body part first, or to do that also maybe like somewhere in the middle of your routine, to where there's a couple days before and after that muscle gets hit, and hit it again. Just by itself. At the end of like your chest day, you would do like shrugs. So because you're not going to do shrugs again for a couple days, and you didn't do shrugs for a couple days before that normally. So that way you can get a little extra emphasis on it. And you're not going to do like a billion sets or anything. You're going to do 3 or 4 hard sets, taken, you know, to near failure or at failure. And by doing that, you'll see a lot of growth happen. So I'm going to start implementing quite a bit of that into my training program here. Because I want my biceps to catch up. I need to do a little forearm work. I've got some trap development I need to get caught up. Calves need a little extra work. So by doing that, we're going to be able to start bringing up the lacking parts. So now granted, I'm still eating in a deficit. So that is going to slow a little bit of growth and strength, but overall we're still looking to get leaner. And I haven't quite hit the level of lean that I'm looking for to start working on, re-bulking or main gaining at. Main gaining is going to be the goal after we get down to 15% body fat is what we're shooting for. So I want to hit that before I start, going back up. Because what's going to happen is when I hit that, I'm going to start eating a little more, leaving that deficit and just trying to eat at maintenance. But I am going to end up putting on some weight from that. But we're going to put on a lot of strength, and it's also going to allow us to put on a lot of muscle at the same time. So, because if you're not eating enough, you can't get stronger, and you can't put on a lot of muscle tissue. So when you're in a deficit, you're just kind of working out to keep what you have while you shred off fat. So, but you're never really going to put any real size on during that. You're just getting a lot leaner, so everything looks a lot more defined. So you're not getting any bigger, but the fat's disappearing, and it's making your skin, shrink a lot more over what you have, so then it appears a lot larger. So it's a plus and minus to, shredding and bulking. So the plus side is that once you are down there, as long as you don't get super crazy with it, it's easy to stay around that point. So, you could go for a month to where you're eating at maintenance, maybe 1,500 calories in a surplus. Then, the month later, you're going to eat at maintenance or 1,500 calories below it. It'll keep you pretty even. So, and by doing that, you'll be able to put on a little strength and get rid of the fat. Put on a little strength, get rid of the fat. So, there's a lot of people who like to call it like mini bulk and mini cuts, or they're just main gaining. That's what I kind of consider and class that as. And then there's a lot of people who don't like that style. They'd rather put on, 30, 40 pounds during the cold season of the year, and hope that 10 to 15 pounds of that 30 to 40 pounds is muscle. Then when they cut down, they've got, unfortunately 20, 30 pounds of fat they're trying to lose, and then they're going to lose, 5% of that or 5 pounds of that muscle. But then they have an extra 5 pounds of lean muscle mass going into their next cut. So, and this is, kind of like the in general thing of natural people. This doesn't apply really to, like it does in the basis of it, but the action of it doesn't apply to anyone who's enhanced. So, but I've learned in the last 100 days that I am starting to get a lot more definition. Ooh. Ooh. Woo. Dang, those are heavy. But with that definition, obviously, my strength is picked up some, especially where I'm focusing strength at. But a lot of that comes to the fact that I haven't been like in a severe deficit. It's been just enough to where I'm losing, about a pound a week. So about 500 calories a day. And some of those days, I'll end up eating a little extra and I'll go to maintenance. So a lot of weeks I end up around like 1/2 to 3/4 of a pound of actual weight lost. But I've also probably put on, like 1/10 of a pound of muscle or something. So the actual scale hasn't varied drastically at all, but my amount of leanness and strength has increased. So, body fat has gone down, which is what we've been kind of shooting for, but I do think we are reaching a point to where our body weight's going to start plummeting here pretty quickly, especially if I'm not like a super fatty and just eating a bunch of junk food or something. But like tonight, I'm going to have Chinese food, but I am skipping. I skipped my second meal, and my third meal will end up getting stuck together as a singular meal. So that's 1,200 calories that I normally eat there. So that's going to apply to like the meal I'm going to have for Chinese food, which then probably total I'll end up eating like 1,600 or 1,800 calories tonight. So it's going to wipe out my deficit plus my normal amount of food intake, and I'm just going to end up low on protein and a little higher in carbs. But that should in turn make me feel a whole lot better tomorrow. We're going to hit one more set of these. But tell you what, another thing I've learned is my strength is increasing and the muscles are getting stronger, but my joints, tendons, and ligaments definitely take a whole lot more time at my current age than they used to, say 12, 13 years ago when I really wasn't going at this. I'm trying to mimic what I was doing then to now. My recovery is definitely not anywhere near as fast, which that comes with the fact of, 12, 13 years older, and my testosterone levels are pretty much junk. They're in the 300s. So it definitely affects how fast I recover, how fast my metabolism runs, and how fast I'm going to make this progress happen. It's going to draw it out over time. But even with that issue, we're making tons and tons of progress. So it just kind of comes as it is. So now that we're done with a palm up exercise, now kind of want to move into a palms down movement. So I'm thinking I'll use the short straight bar. We'll go ahead and we'll just hit some more curls here. We'll reduce this weight and we'll knock out, say, 5 sets of like 20 at, I don't know, probably about half of whatever this is right now. So I'm going to get that changed. I'm going to note that down on my board, and then we'll be back for that set. All right, so since those were at 70 pounds, I went ahead and dropped us down to 30, and we're now going to hit these at 5 by 20 with palms down, short bar. Ooh. Ooh. Woo. Those were going to be awesome when we're done with those. But, so, with learning that recovery is a little slower, making these changes like this is really going to affect my arm recovery, because now everything's in a whole different style.
switching up workout order, and my body was adapting to what we were doing. So with that, I know tomorrow my arms are going to be blasted and they are going to hurt. My forearms are going to hurt, my biceps are going to hurt, my triceps are going to hurt, and I can guarantee my left elbow is going to hurt. So that's something I've always kind of dealt with. Even when I was younger, left elbow would get kind of sore after arm days just because of the amount of weight I'd work at. So I have learned, that's just going to kind of come with it. But as long as I don't feel any pain during the exercise, I'm just taking it as, I'm not creating any injuries. It's just tender and sore because of use. So kind of like a tendonitis type of issue. And that's just going to be what it is. So that's something I've also kind of learned over the last 100 days how to manage. So how hard can I push it without just, needing to recover for an entire week and a half from a singular, set of movements. So I don't want to be so sore that I hurt for 3-4 days, but I definitely don't want to be at the fact where I'm not sore at all the next day. So it's finding that sweet spot, and I've gotten pretty good so far at feeling the way that feels over the last 100 days again. So that's been really nice to actually figure out how hard I can actually push it on a lot of things. I'm sure there's probably, not say weight intensity, or should I say weight stimulus I could increase. I could increase the output intensity per se, contract a lot harder, squeeze a lot tighter. So with the slightly lighter weights, and that would help, and that does actually help quite a bit. It's one of the reasons why this is now going to go to 5x20 instead of pyramiding up in like a bunch of weight. So that way I can mitigate some of that tenderness. So that's the approach I'm kind of taking to that. So that's what I've taken out of the last 100 days as for how to set up my reps and sets for myself. And everyone's going to be a little bit different. So you definitely got to play around with it some, as how many heavy sets can you do, how many light sets can you do, and how much of it can you mix and match, and on which exercises. So this is nowhere set in stone. I've manipulated the movements as we've gone over the last 100 days. So it's always going to be evolving like an enigma. So it's one of the cool things about fitness is you don't have to leave it the same, or you can walk in and do the same thing for the rest of your life. So, and as long as the movements you've chosen in your rep sets are adequate, you can do that forever. So once you've reached a body that you want, it's not that hard to really keep it. It's just being consistent. So it's getting to that body that you want. That's the hard part. So, that's the part too that I kind of struggle with the most. Because I would definitely like to see progress a lot faster than it is. Some of that comes with I'm a little bit impatient. to hop into things. I go at them really hard, and then I kind of get bored with it. And then I kind of move on, and things like that happen. So the nice thing is as I start to get a little bored in the gym, I can change my workout sets, movements I'm doing, things like that to keep it fresh. But I understand that now, I'm quite a bit older than the first time I did this, so the rate of progress I saw then, I can't expect that now, and that's been a mental challenge for me. So, because I don't enjoy that one bit. I would like to be further than I am now, but I have made progress. So, it's kind of like a grain of salt. It's like I'm moving ahead, it's just not where I think I should be. But it's also, I've known that I'm putting in the effort, and I'm 95 to 100% of the way there, exercise-wise, almost every time we walk in here. Diet-wise, pretty much 90 to 95% on that for the last, I'd really say about 50 days. I've been really on that. The first 50 days was just kind of working on deleting bad things from my diet, but not really controlling it. The last 50 days has been wrangling in my diet and trying to perfect how many days in a row I could be super strict, and then when does my body need like a little refeed or something. How many days can I go just chicken without having to eat beef, or how often do I need to have beef in order to where I don't have cravings for it and my body recovers slightly different. So how much vitamins, how much water, all that stuff I've been playing with for the last 50 days. So again, the diet portion to it is probably more important than anything else. So I understand today is also going to be a pretty long video. If you guys have made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe. I'd really like to get to 100 views, or 100 subs, I should say, and break that little milestone. I think that'd be super cool. But so far, we're halfway there. But wrong way. Man, I make some funny ass noises. So that is a plus side of having my own little personal gym, is I get to make all the funny noises I want. Nobody can look at me or tell me to shut the fuck up. So that is also kind of nice. But so one of the other things I've learned in the last 100 days is, consistency. Is what can you do to make sure you're being consistent? Me, this whole video thing has helped me become consistent. Because one, I hold myself responsible of, did I post a video today? Did I record my workout? And was it per se quality information, or at least quality movements that I'm being able to share, and like a little tip here and there on why I perform them and how I perform them. And it also kind of gives me a place to kind of talk about what I'm thinking, and like while I'm going through my sets, or like the outlooks and goals that I kind of have with all this. So this has helped me become consistent. I'm not saying everyone obviously has to post on YouTube, but even if you mark it down on a calendar, give yourself that gold star at the end of the day, or something stupid that just keeps you going. that is going to be the biggest factor, is how many things can you change at a slow enough rate that you can keep them consistent. So like when I first started, yeah, I worked out every day, but one day it was like lifting, then the next day it was like cardio, and the next day it was like lifting, and then that kind of got me into the groove of it. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to go back to lifting 5 days a week, and then a couple cardio days, and then it turned into, okay, we're going to do cardio every day, and we're going to lift every day. And then it turned into cardio every day, lifting every day, and then a second cardio session every day. And that's where we've been now for quite a while, I'd say. At least 60 days of this, maybe a little bit longer, to where we've been 2 full 2.5 mile walks and a lift every single day. We've only taken 1 day off, which that was day 91. And then we took 92 to 97 was a deload week. So we still worked out, we did cardio, but we worked out at 50%. So now we've got our palms up easy curl done, palms down straight bar curl done. Now we need to move into a hammer movement. I think we're just going to go ahead and throw the rope attachment on here and hit these as rope curls. Maybe we'll do them straight out, maybe we'll do them across the body. We'll switch back and forth. We'll alternate those. We'll hit those for 4 sets, 25 reps, I think is what we'll try to shoot for there. And just really push as much volume and blood into the biceps now as possible. They're definitely feeling pretty pumped up and fatigued as it is now. So let me go ahead and get things switched around for that, and then we'll move on. All right, so I've got the rope on here. Let's go ahead and get these things knocked out. We're still at 30 pounds, so Woo! Those feel crazy now. The pump is pretty nasty. That is for sure. So, I've got 3 more sets of those since we're doing those at 25 reps. And I'm going to go ahead and get those knocked out, and then we're going to move into triceps. So once I hit that point, I'll go ahead and bring you guys back. Alrighty guys, so we've switched over to tri press downs using a little 90-degree handle attachment here. We went 30, 40, 50 so far. Now we've got 60 pounds on here. We're doing what we did with our first set of curls, is we're just moving up every set for 10 reps till it either just hits a point to where it's just incredibly heavy and we're not going to be able to do the next set, or we just cannot get to like 6 to 8 reps. So let's go ahead and hit another set here and see how these go. All right. 60 pounds down. Now we'll move to 70. So triceps for me and for most people normally going to be quite a bit stronger than their biceps, unless they just have a crazy bicep imbalance, because the bicep's only 2/3 of your upper arm. So, or 1/3 of your upper arm, sorry, 2/5, because there's 2 muscles here, 3 muscles back here, hence bicep, tricep. So with that, your triceps make up 3/5 of your arm, or 2/3. So the reason for that is just going to always correlate to your triceps are normally always going to be stronger, and they are going to give your arm the most girth and size overall. That's what's going to give you a big, thick arm. So if you're ignoring your triceps, shame on you. Get to those things. So not only that, your tricep strength is always going to directly correlate to your bench press and your overhead press. So if you can't move a lot of weight with your triceps, you're going to have a bad bench and you're going to have a bad overhead press. Woo. Heavy. But I think we've got 80 pounds in us. So we will find out. 70 pounds is definitely getting up there. And I can feel some tension in the elbow, which makes sense. These are getting pretty heavy. So 40 pounds in each elbow, and that's if you're pressing evenly. If one arm's a little stronger than the other, obviously it's taking up a little more of that other weight. So that is something to be aware of, freaking imbalances can also be just side to side, and that can lead to an injury if your weak side fails and all that weight goes into your stronger side all of a sudden. That can definitely create some problems. So be aware of your form. Make sure you're not jerking the weight around. Don't tool it up too much as the weight starts to get heavy. You got to make sure your form's like 90-95% of the way spot on as the weight gets heavier. Oh. Woo. That is heavy. So, now that we have a palms down / neutral grip movement done, we'll go ahead and we'll move into doing something palms up. I'm thinking just good old normal single arm across the body, and then we'll come up with something as for 2 hands. The neutral position, we'll probably do overhead tri extensions to finish off in the neutral rope. So let me go ahead and get this switched over. I'll bring you guys back. All right, so I've got a setup for single arm tricep extensions. I kind of like doing these across the body. It's a lot more comfortable on my elbows for me than being out here like this. And I feel like I get a better contraction coming across myself. So I've got the weight dropped down to 20 pounds. And we're going to do these for 5 sets of 20. Is what we are shooting for here. Ugh. Woo. The pump starting to become real after one of those. Ooh. Woo! Boy, oh boy. Those definitely going to blow the triceps up. So, with the triceps coming in second now too, the weight's a little lower on these than what we were doing, but I'm increasing the number of reps. So we're going to push a lot more blood into these little things here. So, we'll see how they respond to that, even though they're being positioned after our biceps, and see how the triceps kind of like that. So, I'm gonna do 4 more sets of these, then I'll bring you guys back for tricep overhead extensions. Done single arm tricep extensions. Now we're on to overhead triceps with the rope. So now this is our neutral grip style movement for our triceps today. We're going to hit these for 4 sets of 25. Just trying to push the most amount of blood possible into these things. So, oh my god. 25 reps on those feels crazy. But we're going to get them done. So we got 3 more sets there, and then I'll go ahead and bring you guys back for core. We're on to core. That means we're just about done today. So we're going to go ahead and do some cable crunches using the rope. So it's already on here, so it makes it easy. We've got 80 pounds on the pin. And we're just going to go ahead and knock out something simple today, like 5 sets of 10. I'm already feeling pretty fatigued and tired. So, with those, that'll be the last thing I'm going to do today. I'm going to get on out of here, and here shortly, enjoy that Chinese food. So, with that, make sure you guys are out there, you're getting your stuff done, you're working towards your goals, and most of all, don't be a lazy fuck.